Warning: the following video contains explicit language which may be offensive to some viewers or inappropriate for children. The content within this video is intended for mature audiences only.
Hello and welcome to this video. We are returning to Night Vale. This is episode 20, Poetry Week. And today, the day that it's going live on YouTube, is the 20th of October in the horrid year of our Lord 2024. As I pointed out in yesterday, the part 2 video yesterday, that it's just coincidence that this episode number is I'm doing these episodes on these dates. But my brain, for whatever reason, notices crap like that and just brings it to the forefront. And I'm shaking the piss out of this. I'm hitting the T-post. So, without further ado, let's get into this.
"You'll be safe here," says a whisper behind you. "Welcome to Night Vale."
Yeah. I hope everyone enjoyed the sandstorm. That was a fun one, especially part 2. Let's hope and see what Cecil has for us this week. Hopefully the copyright gods have been nice at this point. For there's a couple places I just got crazy.
Listeners, today begins Night Vale Poetry Week, one of our most sacred town traditions. As you know, every citizen is required to write hundreds of poems, non-stop poems. During this time,
sounds, like a normal poetry week to me.
the city council lifts their bans on writing utensils, thesauruses, and public descriptions of the moon. And they mandate that everybody uses their municipally granted free will to join in on the fun.
Municipally granted free will. You gotta like that. Sounds like the governor of Texas.
Last year, over 800,000 poems were written by Night Vale residents and then eaten during the Poetry Week's closing ceremonies by real, live librarians who were chained to thick titanium posts inside double-locked steel cages. Honestly, listeners, I don't think it's a good idea to ever have librarians out in public, no matter how secure the posts or cages are.
See, like I said, anytime, Night Vale has anything to do with the library or librarians, it makes me think of my goddaughter out in San Angelo. So yeah, it's kind of, I had a messenger and ask her if she listens to Welcome to Night Vale, and if she does, what she thinks of their take on libraries and librarians.
I know there were no serious injuries last year, but some of you older listeners may remember what happened in 1993 when an unchecked librarian population resulted in the loss of many innocent and screaming book lovers. But that was 20 years ago. Let's not dwell on our corpse-strewn past.
Giggle break.
Let's celebrate our corpse-strewn future.
That's right, our corpse-strewn future. We need to celebrate that.
On the show today, we'll be featuring some poems sent in by listeners from all over Night Vale. We'll start with this one. Last night, Night Vale's poet laureate, Trility Wade, with clenched teeth and frightened eyes, delivered the opening stanzas for the Poetry Week festivities. Here is what she read.
Well, this is going to be fun.
I fell in love with a hooded figure who tied my tongue with an ink ligature and silently urged I write this poem. Please believe me, I wasn't forced, through bone telepathy or the code of Morse, to pen this uncoded, unsubversive gem.
Yep, I believe every word of it.
On the desert farms, the ghost-eyed maidens make the cheese, while a maelstrom of thick milk falls with ease. Our punishment? Hot-blooded, clotted cream. The days here pass like cancerous sunspots.
Imagery. That's technically what that is imagery.
And black metal trees can't compare to car lots. You are in Night Vale. Welcome. Wade capped off her reading by screaming, "It is lies! It is lies!" before separating into minute white particles and fluttering away on a swirling breeze.
That's always helpful and reinforces positive attitudes and feelings and emotions.
Like soft snow, she covered our hair and light coats, and like snow, it smelled of fennel and meat.
I'm really glad we don't get snow here very often, and the snow we do get does not smell like fennel and meat.
Then a voice announced over the PA, "Everything is perfect in our little town. Poetry Week has begun, Night Vale. It's going to be a great one."
Yes, it is going to be a great one.
This weekend, the Night Vale Zoo finally reopens after last month's renovations. Among the new features are fences and plexiglass.
Makes you wonder what the zoo was like before the renovations.
To separate the animals from each other and from zoo patrons. Zoo officials promised that they focused especially on the tiger, bear, spider, and snake areas in this regard.
Well, that is awful kind of them to do that.
Another new feature is the Sensory Extraction Room, where a randomly selected zoo-goer will be dropped into a pitch-black, soundproof booth for 2 straight days while zookeepers harvest their scent and teach it to genetically improved predators.
Fun?
They've also unveiled a new logo featuring a swan being eaten by a giraffe and a new slogan, "You go to the zoo so the animals can watch you."
That kind of rhymes. I kind of like that, to be honest with you.
So come join in on the fun this weekend. Slow-moving children with more than 15% body fat get in free.
The actor, the voice actor that portrays Cecil, I have to give him credit to deliver these lines without just breaking up, breaking character. I mean, I could never do that. I could never, ever have that kind of discipline to do that. I'm sorry, but, my hats off to that the voice actor that does that. It's just excellent job.
Oh, I can't wait anymore, listeners. Poetry Week has to be the most wonderful time of the year. Let's get back to some fantastic poems that have been sent in. Some of them are even from our city officials.
Hey, you know, when the city officials get into the act,
Like Mayor Pamela Winchell, who put her quill to parchment and sent us this lovely stanza. No one will have to be anyone ever again. In fact, it will not be allowed.
good, straight to the point.
That poem also doubles as recently enacted legislation enforced by the sheriff's secret police. Thank
Dual purpose poem.
you, Mayor. And now, and this is very special, a poem written by the sheriff himself.
Oh, this is going to be fun and interesting and entertaining.
Here goes. The town criers have cross-stitched their mouths shut and stapled their eyes open. The benches are all broken. No one sits down anyway. No one can fit their broken wings beneath their cloaks. A skin condition that makes its victims appear timelessly sad afflicts most. Prominent citizens drown in the carpool lane.
Maybe?
Their makeup floats to the surface. Wine glasses clink together. They hate each other. They clink until one breaks and then the other. There is no such thing as vagrants. There is no such thing as home. The sun has a tick. No one can afford flowers, but
Yeah, I don't think the sheriff is really into the spirit of it, to be honest with you.
the children stand very still in the garden until the cold snap cracks. Very pretty. Thank you, Sheriff. And now a poem sent in by Irena Penchik.
Arena, I like that name. If I was to have a daughter, I might name her Arena. That's just kind of cool sounding. Though I do like a lot of the popular Victorian era female names. So I'm weird that way.
A third grade teacher from Night Vale Elementary. It is called Street Cleaning Day.
Hey, we had that episode just a few videos back.
Run, run, remain calm, run. Where are my children? Do I have children? Run, run, remain calm, run. I know where they will not go. But what way? Again the announcement. Run, run, remain calm, run.
I think we got a chorus here. I think we got a really catchy chorus at that.
They are coming. I must choose. I have chosen. Save myself. Thank you, Mrs. P. You did the right thing. Madeline LaFleur, Executive Director of the Night Vale Tourism Board, sent in a piece of paper that just reads, in all caps, tourism is important. Below that is a reddish-brown smudge shaped like an underfed hawk alighting upon a mesquite tree.
Okay, visual poetry maybe? I don't know.
She also scotch-taped what appeared to be 3 human molars to the page. You know, at first I thought, this is not poetry. This is visual art, but that's mere semantics. We are all poetry, Night Vale. Every breath or branch or sigh before another hopeless night of uneasy slumber is itself a verse in a great poem.
You know, it does have does have a very valid point there.
Oh, here's a question, listeners. Have you seen those new billboards all over town recently? They have no pictures, just hyper bright and colorful text that reads, 20% off everything. We're going to take 20% off everything. Everything.
That can be kind of dangerous in Nightvale, to be honest with you.
We're crazy. There's no store or brand associated with the advertisements, and the highway department said that there's no record that anyone owns the billboards or that they were ever put up. They just appeared one day, and we all sort of accepted that they were there.
You know, billboards do that. I kept wanting to say Bilbo, but that's a character in a book.
A representative from the city told us. The sheriff's secret police warned that the advertisement appears to be completely literal, and that soon...
Yeah, that's, this is Nightville after all.
20% of everything might indeed be gone. They are still investigating as to whether or not we have a choice of which 20% gets taken off and where that 20% goes.
Wow.
Scientists say that the 20% must go somewhere because of something to do with something called thermodynamic laws. But police officials remind us that scientists are comedians and that they should stick to comedy.
Yes, they should. I would, to be honest with you, I'd love to get Neil deGrasse Tyson's opinion of this podcast. I mean, at least just like the first season of it.
Let's have a look at traffic. Old Town Nightvale resident Catherine C.L. just sent in the following report of what's happening out there on the roads. Catherine writes, on Sunday, a lambent crevice opened up in the street outside my house. By Tuesday, birds were flying into it. I probably won't miss you, my mother said.
Interesting.
I'm only interested in the end of the world, I replied. Many find it difficult to breathe without the atmosphere.
Yeah, that is a very, very accurate statement.
But we knew how. We just stopped breathing. We're at the Moonlight All-Night Diner, and they're serving up fruit from the plants growing out of the waitress.
Okay, Pamela Isley for maybe? I don't know.
The closed sign whispers, please, don't touch me. We watch bodies fall to the ground outside like deep-sea creatures surfacing. You turn to me and ask, do you ever think about suicide?
No.
I look away from you and close my eyes, eat the raspberries to confuse the blood in
Now remember that next time I get some raspberries and eat them.
my mouth. Now you're in the only car in the parking lot at midnight, and you're watching me throw stones at the moon, which hangs low in the sky so that he can look into your house.
Don't think that's the moon.
Your sister tried to touch him from her window once, and he flinched. Now he and the oceans watch her with a quiet concern.
Yeah, they probably should.
The lilac sky is trying to rest her head on his shoulder, all trees gradually growing through her.
Yeah, Could be Pamela Isley. Pamela Isley.
A hummingbird whispers to you, "Be careful. Under her dress is her skin," and then builds his nest in the middle of the highway.
Okay, probably not the best thing for a bird to do.
I look back to you, and you close your eyes. So, Night Vale, it sounds like you should use some alternate routes today. Thank
Yeah, I got a point.
you, Catherine, for that report. This has been Traffic. An update now on Poetry Week. A strange thing has happened, listeners. A note was posted at the entrance to the dog park.
Uh-oh.
I'm told the note is on paper that is black like the ocean of space, and the text is, well, it's not white, really more transplendent, radiating its strange free verse message from...
Transplendent. I wonder if that's a word. A real word. And if it is a real word, is it being used correctly or being used just to emphasize something?
On the dark page, the message reads, "Today they scratched me from sleep, nails unhinged, carving my name in cement. Ash stains my pillow and bruises the shape of spiders climb my neck. Sunlight catches dust and broken glances between strangers, dodging desert puddles of something metallic. I'm highly contagious,
It sounds like whooping cough.
quarantined to another body I've since infected. I will sleep into you if you hold me too tightly. I assemble your letters, left torn in the pocket of a hospital gown. I stain the paper with sweat. I'm beginning to steal your voice.
Mwah.
The voice that lies, dying in the dog park."
Poem or public service announcement?
The poem is signed with just the letter E. Listeners, while I certainly love luxuriating in the lush language of a good poem, I do not condone entering the dog park. It is forbidden. Dogs and dog owners are not allowed in the dog park.
That's about correct, about the right speed.
Please disregard this renegade poet's radical lies and stay away. Oh, I fear the damage is done, listeners. Whoever this E is must know we are all now in grave danger.
Mm-hmm. Always in grave danger.
And now, a word from our sponsor.
I love these. I think I say this every video, but it's also a good place to pause to get that copyright break thing going.
With low interest rates, now is the perfect time to buy a home. Just name your amenity. Every house in Night Vale has a luxurious view of the void. We also have great schools and plenty of spiders.
Yes, plenty of spiders. Kind of like living in the country. We got plenty of spiders, plenty of scorpions, plenty of snakes.
Who wouldn't want to settle down in Night Vale? Seek a licensed realtor to help you find the house of your dreams. Realtors live inside deer.
Yes, they do.
When you find an undersized stag or ailing doe you can catch, simply wrestle it down and knife open the chest cavity. Then let the realtor inside help you achieve your American dream.
Well, that's how, I bought this place.
The head of the Greater Night Vale Realty Association, Russell Swenson, says, "No one has lived here for years. You're one of them. One of the no ones. A woman is a fire, and no one is invited. Anyone can watch. No one can help."
Okay. Not confusing at all.
Hey, Dana, is this a poem Russell wrote for us, or... So, start looking today for your new Night Vale home. As the old saying goes, streets swallow their own tails and choke.
I thought everyone knew that.
Listeners, oh, this is bad news. The gates to the dog park have been opened for the first time anyone can recall.
Uh-oh. This can't be good.
In fact, no one even knew there were gates. We've only ever seen tall, black walls with no visible entrance or exit. But there are gates, and apparently they're just standing wide open. Witnesses say
May not be a good thing.
that inside you can see a couple of old tennis balls, some frisbees, and a black stone monolith that is humming a hum that makes everyone who hears it feel calm and ever so slightly more sensual.
That could be a good thing, and maybe, but probably going to be a bad thing, being Night Vale and all.
The city council issued a statement moments ago which was just a series of ancient glyphs. No one could read the language, but we all understood what it said. It was a dire warning, a warning to the mysterious E, a warning to those by the dog park, a warning to all of Night Vale, a great pain, a great piercing, a great scream that will soon break apart our sky and our lives if this insolence does not stop.
Yeah, we get warnings like that all the time.
If you are near the dog park, listeners, do not enter it. The monolith, or whatever you think you see, is not for you to know. Public property is not for citizens. Stay home, Night Vale. Write your poems. This should be a fun and festive time to write government-mandated rhymes, not storming the shores of hell and...
You know, I think staying at home and doing anything, government mandated or not, is probably far more safer than storming the sands of hell. You know, just personal opinion here.
and bringing us all to war with you. I've just sent Intern Dana, or Intern Dana's doppelganger, I am still unsure, to the dog park to warn those who are standing so...
Once again, we still got Dana, so she's still in play on the intern bingo card.
near to their demise. I only hope Dana is in time to save them. Let us go now, possibly for the last time, to the weather.
Okay, we will be, like always, we will be pausing for the weather. And I will encourage you to go listen to Welcome to Night Vale without my commentary. Listen to it on your own. We got links and places you can find Welcome to Night Vale in the description below. And that is fun and enjoyable. And you can laugh and giggle on your own. So, Give us a bit, and we'll be right back. Okay, we are back after the weather. So let's get into it and see what else Cecil has for us today.
Old woman Josie called during the break and said that the mysterious E is one of the angels, and that the E stands for Erica. Erica? I asked. No, Erica with a K.
Okay, you got to get those, differences out.
She said. Oh, Erica with a K, I said. And then there was a weird pause, and then she said, all angels go by the name Erica.
Well, that makes identification easy.
And then I was like, right. And I felt dumb because that's like the first thing you learn in 7th grade transmigration studies.
Yeah, I remember that.
Anyway, the city council in a press conference said, oh, an angel wrote that? Well, okay then. Never mind. Sure. We'll show you the monolith. Come on in. And so those on the streets outside the dog park entered. And the city council showed them the monolith, welcoming all with friendly, upturned palms. But some witnesses resisted. Their conservatism served them well.
Yeah, it does, sometimes. Sometimes you've got to be a little bit cautious, a little bit conservative about things.
For the tall black gates soon closed, vanishing into the smooth onyx walls, taking the dog park visitors with them. No entrance. No exit. There may never be either again. Sadly, intern Dana, or her double, was inside the dog park when it was sealed.
So that's another one on the intern bingo card. Wait for our next intern.
And listeners, I hesitate to tell you, but as a journalist, I think I must. Intern Dana, or her double, texted me a photo of the monolith just before the gates closed. Did you know there is an inscription at its base? And get this, right here, on this, the first day of Poetry Week, the inscription is a poem. According to the plaque, the poem was written in 1954 by former Night Vale Mayor Danielle Dubois, quote, in honor of nothing that should never not be unknown.
Yes, quite simple and very transparent, that meaning.
The poem reads, the gentle man in glow light is a candle in his maybes. His face is a loamy bog. Do you ever stop to look at all the blood you gather? Metal halos spring from your attention. She said, watch with all your eyes, lest...
Yeah, with all of your eyes. Not just one eye, but all of the eyes.
Chance again escape you. Said, chalks wasted on blind children wrote today's specials on the board. What's blessed entry in this weather? I heard it tapping, but it doesn't leave a trail. When you catch a beating heart in the wild, you hold it squirming and say,
Yes, you do.
That is that. But the damn thing keeps on moving till you squeeze it in your hands.
Which is always a good thing to do with a still beating heart in the wild.
I know not what the monolith's poem hides, Night Vale. nor if there will be any consequences for my actions today. But I do know it is Poetry Week. It is only the beginning of our fun and festive favorite time of year. Let's not think about what we're not allowed to know. Let's think about what is safe to know. And let's start with the beauty of our words. So get out those pens and dust off your iams and couplets. Also, intern Dana, or your double, you will be missed. I tried texting you back, but now there's just blood seeping up through some newly formed crack on my touchscreen. So I think that's a no-go.
It's probably time to get a new phone at that point, too.
Goodbye, Dana. And for the rest of you, goodbye too, but with the hint of a future hello. Stay tuned next for the sound of some helpless thing being eaten. Good night, Night Vale. Good night.
So, we learned a little bit more about the dog part, a little bit more about the inner goings. We had another intern bite it, and we had a call back to episode 15, Street Cleaning Day. So, yeah, it was very enjoyable. I do enjoy me some Night Vale, and I hope you're enjoying it too. And I like to thank all my subscribers and all the people that take time to leave comments and stuff like that. So, until next time, and as always, be a good human, be good to other humans. Peace.
Hey, it's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are?